It's one of the biggest questions in science. Are we alone in the universe? The answer might be yes, but the question of how life could exist elsewhere is just as important. If we want to find life elsewhere, we need to know how to look, and that means considering some pretty strange possibilities. So, here's a question for you to ponder first. If life elsewhere exists, it probably won't look like us, not because aliens would necessarily be green or have tentacles, but because life as we know it only works because of a rare set of circumstances. For instance, almost all life on Earth depends on carbon. That's because carbon has 6 protons and can form 4 bonds. It's also relatively abundant, but there are other elements that could do similar chemistries. One possibility is silicon, which is just below carbon on the periodic table. Like carbon, silicon can form 4 bonds. So a silicon-based life form could have its own version of organic chemistry. But silicon tends to bond with itself and other nonmetals rather than forming long chains like carbon does. So silicon-based life wouldn't necessarily resemble anything we know. On a hot volcanic planet with little water and plenty of silicates, life could evolve to use silicon instead of carbon, instead of breathing out carbon dioxide. They might exhale sand or stone dust. Their bodies might be rocky, glassy, or crystalline, heat-resistant, and strange, not exactly huggable, but definitely alive. Or what about a gas giant like Jupiter? Their conditions are very different. Life might never touch solid ground. Instead, it could float in the clouds, huge balloon-like creatures drifting on convection currents. Jupiter's atmosphere is mostly hydrogen and helium with some ammonia, so there might be life too, huge balloons made of gas. Could feed on sunlight, lightning, or chemical reactions in the air. No feet, no hands, just buoyant life floating forever in the sky. But it doesn't always have to be so extreme. On Saturn's moon Titan, it's much closer to Earth. Titan has an atmosphere and lakes. But everything is about 180 degrees cooler than on Earth. So any life there would have to be extremely slow, cold adapted, maybe life based on ammonia, which works a bit like water. It can dissolve things and support chemistry, but only at very cold temperatures. On such a world, life might sweat ammonia vapor and move at glacial speeds. Not frozen, just chill. But life doesn't need to be carbon-based or even matter at all. What about plasma? The superheated stuff stars are made of. Maybe intelligent patterns of energy could form inside stars or auroras. No bones, no cells, just flowing magnetic fields swirling with purpose. A consciousness made of light? Or what about crystalline life? Crystals grow, they replicate, and they even store information. So, what if deep in a mineral-rich world, life evolved from crystals, slow-moving, almost timeless, communicating with pulses of light or vibration, a civilization measured in millennia? And if life can arise from crystals, then surely it could arise from metals, iron, copper, nickel. Worlds where life forms move using electromagnetic fields, living machines born from the planet's core, not built but born. And these are just some of the more conventional possibilities. What about ecosystems based on sulfur, phosphorus, or chlorine? Some microbes on Earth already breathe sulfur or use arsenic. So why not entire economies based on these elements? On planets with acidic oceans or volcanic skies, life could look like a walking chemistry experiment. Strange, dangerous, but still alive. And we haven't even considered what Carl Sagan called the ultimate postulate possibility. Information-based life. What if life didn't need atoms at all? What if it existed as pure data? Think of life as we know it encoded in quantum fields or orbiting black holes as organized information. Such life would exist outside the constraints of chemistry or biology. It could think, communicate, evolve, and perhaps dream. Maybe we've already met such beings when we've seen a shooting star or had a déjà vu. The universe is unimaginably vast and old. It's almost certain that life exists elsewhere, but it will likely be unlike anything we can imagine. Whether it's made of rock or gas or light or data, life elsewhere will be as strange and wonderful as the universe itself. Thanks for watching, Seeker.